Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'll show you some BTS footage that I captured on my Insta360 1X camera while I was filming a destination wedding in France last month. So if you haven't seen the finished wedding film from France, I recommend you pause this one, click the link down in the description, go ahead and watch that, and then come back and watch the rest of this one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this BTS video, and if you do get something out of it, then go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe if you want to see similar stuff to this in the future. Okay, just got ready, just had a shower, made my sandwiches, got a few little chocolate bars, had a coffee and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this little sat nav thing in there. And just up to the wedding venue now. It's only like 5-6 minutes away, so that's pretty good. Even if I forgot something, it's alright, I can just drive back in 5 or 6 minutes. Arrived, and I've actually got the exact same parking spot as I had last year, so I'm starting to wonder if they're actually reserving this one for me. Alright, on these familiar stairs, just met Liam, the groom. He's having a good time, just had a little sesh by the pool. And yeah, I'm just going down to this little ceremony bit. Yep, so similar ceremony vibe to last year. And just over here we've got like a little lake or river, never quite sure. Going to work out how I'm going to do the old ceremony this year, because I'm by myself. Last year I had a second shooter, so it's good the fact that I've actually been here before. I can maybe try to visualise how it's going to go beforehand, but you can never tell with these things. That's the old chateau up there and the big stairs. Okay, so I'll add a bit of director's commentary in here into my thought processes. So as you can see here, I'm using a gimbal to do the bride prep shots, and that's not really because I want to do big swooping movements. It's more just because of the Sony camera, and the Sony IBIS is not the best, plus the Tamron lens that I use does not have stabilization, so going handheld can be a bit trickier. But if you do have something that has good IBIS, like a GH5, then handheld for these kind of shots is also definitely a good shout. As you can see here, I'm just using some foreground with a gap between the bridesmaids' dresses, just to isolate the bride sitting in the makeup chair. Doesn't happen often, but on this occasion the makeup artist was using an LED light, which I was also trying to avoid and not get in the shots as well. Here I'm just using one of the mirrors to shoot into to get a different angle and perspective. So when it comes to the bride prep shots, I usually like to get a few shots from distance and then eventually move in closer. Then here just tucking myself into a corner and shooting from a high position at about, I think I was at the max 75mm, just to get a more flattering angle on the bride. Generally these kind of shots are better from a high position, or at least from eye level. I wouldn't recommend going for a low down angle for these kind of shots, as it's not the most flattering angle. So again here, using the bedpost as a bit of foreground, and generally filming these shots quite tight as the room was actually quite messy on the day. Okay, so here just getting a shot of the dress, which myself and James, the photographer, we took from upstairs, avoiding as many people as we can, and hung it up outside on the side of the chateau. And to shoot this, I was just using my 14mm Samyang prime lens on a gimbal, and I just simply wanted to get a push in towards the dress and pull out shot, and that's exactly what I did, and as you can see, that's how it came out. How are we getting on?
Just missed the sound of the shower.
That's what
should have been here last night.
That's what we wanted to get. So when it comes to the groom prep, I more often than not try and get them close to a window just to make use of the natural light. So with the groom, as they're not usually stationed in one place, it's just about communicating with them and letting them know that you would like them to get ready in a spot close to a window. And that's what myself and James did when we arrived. We just cleared some space. As you can see here, we're just clearing some space, doing a bit of housekeeping near the window just to make it look a bit tidier, getting rid of the ironing board and a few other little bits and pieces. Then we just asked the groom if he could do his preparation in that area. Also, as well as having him near a natural light source, we made sure that the inside lights were off so that we can really isolate him from the background. Here again, I'm looking to add some foreground for a sort of slightly reveal shot wherever I can. Looking for some variety, trying to get some close-ups of him doing some buttons just so that things sequence together nicely.
Concentration.
No, you know, it's kind of excited.
Yeah.
Just that it's all good.
You can stay there, that's
that's
fine, yeah. I need a mirror. At this point here, I offered to bring over the mirror from the other side of the room towards the window, just so that Liam, the groom, he's not feeling like he needs to go back and forth. There comes a time, obviously, when he needs to start putting on his tie and other things. He needs to know he needs to see how he looks. In this case, the mirror was able to be moved. It wasn't stuck to the wall, so I just offered to bring it over to the side of the room where the light was coming in.
You go. I missed it.
Yeah, mate.
John, sorry, I'm going to have a bit of a ghost mode. We'll look you in the mirror. Do that.
And here, just getting a shot of Liam looking at himself, getting ready in the mirror. That always makes for quite a nice shot, something a bit different. Just getting a shot over his shoulder. For this shot here, just again something a little bit different, adding a bit of variety. Just went for a wider focal length at about 28mm, and just a push-in shot past the door, using the door as a bit of a foreground and giving a little bit of a dolly shot, just rocking forward and back. Again, something a little bit different. Here, getting some nice close-ups of details. So, man, feeling.
I'll put this on now while we're waiting for the whiskers, and then you've got
Yeah. Can you just do it there? I'm just going to get a shot from inside. Thank you.
Just looking out.
Just looking at that way, it's fine. Yeah, as you were, like side on, that's fine. On this shot here, just went to the other side of the room and just made sure that I exposed for the outside, just to get a bit of a silhouette shot. Again, something different to what I already had, and giving a bit more variety to the sequence of his preparation. And then once I knew I had that shot, I just quickly moved off to one side just to get him adjusting the jacket as it was going on and doing up any buttons. Again, just knowing that these shots would cut together nicely, and I would only need 2 or 3 seconds of from each position. Obviously the bride and groom are the main people on the day, but you do want to be focusing on other people such as the members of the bridal party and the close family. Want to be making sure we get some shots of those, so I got them whenever I could. Whenever Liam was not around, I made sure I got some shots of others. He had some embroidery done, specially made on his jacket, which he also wanted to get. He told us about that, so I made sure I got that. Yeah, nice.
It's John. Glasses. You alright? Yeah, good. You?
We all like cheersing in the middle, like clinking glasses.
Is that Johnny?
Yes, cheers for being here. Alright.
Drink.
Drink. Enjoy that. Cheers. Pretend to drink. Enjoy it.
Okay, just a quick update where I'm at in the day. I've got some groom shots, got quite a few of the bride getting ready shots, and just lugged all of this stuff down all those stairs. But yeah, I'm just going to settle that up now and see what I do with it. Okay, the cameras are set up now. I just need to go and get my third little mini tripod for the ceremony. I've got a H5 plugged into the speaker, but I'm not sure if the mic's actually going to be used. Just got a quick wide shot of the little ceremony area, and I'm just about to go upstairs now to see if maybe I'll get a few mingling shots. And wait, I think the photographer's looking for me. I might have to run upstairs quickly because I think there's we want to get a few shots just with the bridesmaids, Sarah and the bridesmaids, and yeah, so I'm going to go and do that real quick. So it's always nice to get a few shots of guests arriving as well. And here I mainly just focus on the groom, welcoming people and his interaction with the guests arriving. Just moving around to get a few different perspectives. So here I just moved from a bit higher up on the stairs, just getting a shot looking down, as I knew I already had a shot of guests arriving facing up, just trying to get some good coverage from different angles. So here I'm just starting to think about the ceremony, getting the cameras ready for the ceremony. So I've got one at the bottom of the stairs for the bridal party arriving, and it's on a 24mm, which is as wide as it can go, just to show them coming down the staircase. And I set it to a very deep aperture, f9 or f10, as I wanted to just get pretty much everything in focus, everything on the stairs, from them coming from the top of the stairs all the way down. Then I just went on to prepare the Mavic Air, just make sure I had a fresh battery in there because the battery on that drone does run down very quickly, and I just had that up in the air, not moving, just as a overall wide of the area as the bridal party were coming down the stairs. So here, just as the procession is starting, I made sure that the drone was up and left it there for a wide shot. Quickly checked the exposure on the camera at the foot of the stairs, which I'd set up. Then just went around to check that the groom angle reaction shot was in position and was okay. Then just went round the back into position behind the groom, where I would get the bridal party walking down the aisle. It does seem like it's a bit much to have this many cameras for the entrance, but I only did this because there was a lot of time for this entrance, a lot of time for them coming down the stairs. If the entrance was a regular short aisle, I would not try and attempt to do something like this. I would just have the two cameras running. But it is a unique entrance into the ceremony, so just having those extra angles just helped me to cut it together nicely. So once the procession was complete, I put the drone down and got the other three cameras into position, so one facing the bride, and one facing down the middle for a 2-shot. And finally the third one facing Liam on the other side. Audio wise, there were 2 readings, both by ladies in dresses, so I asked them to clip on a Sony TX650 onto their dress, which they were not too keen on. Could see that by the look on their face, so I just suggested that they could actually just hold it in their hand while they're giving the reading, and that just sounded absolutely fine as well, so it's just another option. I also had a Tascam DR10L on the groom and tried to hide it behind his little flower on his jacket. And lastly, I had a TX650 clipped on the Efficient as well. Just did the ceremony, was all good. Managed to do like 4 cameras of her coming in, which might be a bit much, but it's alright. Just make sure I got enough coverage. And plus, you've got loads of time of them coming down those stairs, so just thought, why not? Just had the TX650s on the people giving readings in the registrar, and yeah, just had the DR10L on Liam, the groom. Yeah, happy with how that's gone. I think it's going to come out okay. Okay, so quick update. What's been going on? So they've just been doing some the champagne shots, cocktail hour, mingling, all that kind of stuff. So I've just got a few shots of those, and now they're sitting down to eat. They're doing the starter main course, starter main dessert stuff, and so now it's quite an important time for me to think about the speeches, because they're staggering everything speeches wise. There's going to be like 1 after the starter, 2 after the main, 2 off, and then the best men after dessert, I think, and there's like a cake cutting in between as well, so there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff I need to remember. Mic wise, I think I'm gonna try and plug in the H5 to the speaker. It should be fine. I think that there's an out on there, and yeah, so I'll just monitor that. I'll probably tape a TX650 onto the mic as well as a backup, and obviously for all the men who are giving speeches, I'll try and put mics on them as well. Probably won't be able to with the ladies. I think the bride might be giving a speech. I need to double check. I think we should be getting something to eat and crack on with the speeches. That's the next part. Try and show you the speeches camera setup as well. Probably through the 360 cam, you'll probably be able to see it. So here I'm setting up the Fuji X-T3 on a wide safety shot of the top table and the speech maker. Then I've got the 7200 on the Sony A7S II as the main speech maker cam. And lastly, the A7 III with the Tamron 2875 as the couple cam, which was closest to them at the front. Audio wise, I had the Zoom H5 plugged into the speaker, which I monitored in between. Also had a Sony TX650 taped to the microphone and had the X650s clipped to the speech makers as a third backup audio source. What's going on? So I'm just going to go and have a look at some areas where we can take a couple later on. Oh, the sun is still pretty harsh at the moment. Yeah, I'll probably just go up to this kind of field at the back where the sun sets. I remember last year that was quite cool, get a few shots over there. Sun's still pretty high at the moment. They're still having dinner, they're having their main course. And they just had one speech. So I remember last time this was the field that we've got to work with. Sun still quite high. Once that goes a bit lower, starts to peak behind the trees. Maybe in a couple of hours that should be a good time. So here's the first dance with the guests using sparklers, which actually helped a lot because it was very dark at that point. So I had a wide safety at the top of the balcony, which meant that I can get tighter shots and move around a little bit with the gimbal. So most of the time during the first dance I look to shoot the couple with the guests in the background, as I prefer the look of that, and also try and be mindful and stay on the same side of the photographer. And then every now and again I'll get a quick change of angle, get some tighter shots, tighter zoomed in shots. A bit of a wider shot as well, and also look to try and get a bit of movement as well as static, so just general variety. Also noticed that there were some nice looking fairy lights hung above, so also make sure I got a lower down angle as well, just to get some of those fairy lights in the shot as well. So straight after the first dance some fireworks went off, so I just made sure I got some shots of the fireworks individually, and then once I had enough of that, just made sure I moved forward to where the bride and groom were, as they were just sort of overlooking the balcony, looking out at the fireworks. And again, just looking to make sure I get a variety of those kind of shots, so just got a tighter angle, some wider stuff, as well as static and moving. And also made sure I tried to get a shot from low down, looking up. So that's the wedding done. The wedding here, it's about midnight. I've just packed up my stuff, just chucked it in the car. But yes, after everything overran a little bit, which meant that after the speeches were quite long, so yeah, after the best man speeches were finished, everything just kind of very, very rushed towards the end. I think they managed to fit everything in, which was all good. They had like the first dance with sparklers and stuff, which looked cool. So I filmed that with 2 cameras actually, so I had one up on the balcony, and I haven't checked the footage of that actually, so I'm not sure how it looks. And then the other one I had obviously on me, just getting various angles or whatever. And then they transitioned very quickly into some fireworks that just came out of nowhere. I didn't know that fireworks were happening, but I didn't realise they were happening like literally straight after the first dance. I thought there was going to be a slight gap. But I think because everything overran, it meant that they chucked up the fireworks straight away. But it was fine, I was down there anyway, ready to get them. So just got some shots of the fireworks going up, and the backs of the couples as they were kind of looking up at the fireworks was made for quite a nice shot. Lighting wise, obviously I was pushing the ISO fairly high, but also the fireworks, they gave off a bit of light as well, which was all good. So. And then just now, just filming some shots of everyone dancing and stuff. It was pretty mad in there, pretty crazy. They were going quite hard. They're all pretty drunk. They've been drinking pretty much all day, and then during the speeches as well, they're all like down in their drinks and stuff. But yeah, it was cool, all good fun. Really good crowd actually, really good party, bridal party. So I had a really good time, and yeah, just got a load of party shots just now in there. Felt like I had enough, so just packed everything up. They're still partying away, so they're still going hard, but I felt like I had enough. So I did stick up an LED light for that, because otherwise it just would have been crazy, like just ridiculously too dark. I wouldn't have been able to pick up anything. It just would have been all like silhouettes and stuff. So I did want to get a bit of like front lit stuff, so I just stuck up an LED, and that helped a lot. I could notice that more because as soon as I just took the LED light down now, and left, the room was pretty much pitch dark. And I didn't need that much light actually, because the ceiling and the walls, they were white. They were just reflecting the light all over the place, so I just put a little bit of LED in it. That's all I needed. I didn't need to go really hard with the light at all, and that was it. That was cool. Go home now, back up all the cards, and yeah, I'll probably just finish it here, to be honest. I finished this little BTS video here. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it helped you in any way possible. Like these videos that I make, I hope I'm doing it just purely because maybe, you know, somebody's watching it and thinking, okay, yeah, I got something out of that, even if it's a tiny little thing. That's all I got. Thanks very much, and peace out.